Hello everyone! Surprise video today. I have decided to review one of my most recent purchases. I'm planning to do reviews for all of the purchases where I still have the receipts in my mail inbox because I do tend to try and save my receipts. So I will share other hauls from before the tariffs took place, and we're going to start with this one from Paint Some Way. Hello everyone. So there is a small fan on in the background. It's just kind of blowing on my little plant babies because they are fruits or not fruits, but vegetable plants, and the wind just kind of helps them grow stronger stems. So that one will possibly be within earshot of the camera. So if you hear like a constant noise in the background, that is possibly it. I also have neighbors weed whacking and mowing and my window's open, so you might hear that at some point as well. Anyways, hi. I know I left for a while, but so I did this thing where I tried to go back onto social media because I thought interacting with other people or old friends might boost my mood. As longtime viewers might know from when I did Stitch With Me's, I struggle a lot with anxiety, depression, and social anxiety. And it turns out that was a terrible idea because I quickly came to learn that my old friends do not care about me. They have nothing in common with me, and the only time they wanted to interact with me is if they wanted something from me. So I was thinking how when I first started my channel, it was about the same time of year, and I was just so happy doing these videos, and like the mood was right, and I kind of want that back. And I don't know how many of you are in the US, but the tariffs for China have gone down significantly as of yesterday. And so I actually can potentially buy more kits, but my goal is to not. I have one order planned for cross stitch from Dream Stitch once I can save up the money. But other than that, it's probably just going to be diamond paintings again because I can whip right through those. And I cannot add to my cross stitch collection anymore. And I do want to do another video going through every single kit I have. So that's going to be a very long video. My camera's probably going to need multiple charges for that. But it's just a video idea. But today I have 3 kits from spring and 3 kits from Joy Sunday. So let me make sure I grab the right one. Okay, because I have the price up already. So let's get into these 6 kits. So this is the first kit. Of course, who could have guessed? Nim buying bears. But this one's just small, and I thought it would be quick to stitch up. He's so adorable. Look at the little artist. I love it. And I do believe this is an 11 count. Yep, 11 count. And I have not gone through any of the kits I've been buying the past few months. I kind of just been throwing them in a drawer, sadly. So this little guy is 50 by 50 centimeters, and it currently costs $9.99. They do have free shipping for orders over $49. I'm not sure what the tariffs are if you're in the US right now, because again, I just kind of stopped purchasing from everywhere when that happened. But ignoring the duty taxes and stuff, he is $9.99. And it's so cute. Spring always comes in these button snap pouches, if you are unfamiliar. And it looks like the pattern booklet is part of the cover photo, so let's just take it all out. So I'm not going to go through this with every single one because all spring kits are essentially the same. This is just some instructions for you in case you're new to stamped cross stitch. And it just kind of shows you how to find your symbols, how to get your strands, stitching process, and then the washing and whatnot. So there's that. And here's our paper pattern. As you can see, it's on the cover photo. Aww. This is nice and large. Very easy to read. I do already see that there's going to be multiple colors of backstitch in here. But that's fine. And there's also a good amount of color blocking. Excuse me. I don't think there's any spots with too much confetti. Oh my goodness. Give me 1 second. Okay, so sorry about that. Nintendo likes to react to the sounds of other birds outside, especially during the spring and summer. He just gets a little too excited. So anyways, where was I? I think I said that there wasn't really many spots with confetti. It looks like pretty much every stitch has at least one other stitch like it that you can kind of track over to. Okay, and so I just wanted to confirm. These are the symbols. And if we go up, 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 or down, down, I guess, we see 35 here. And then on the back side, we have the bottom of page 1 and the bottom of page 2. So just a tiny little bit that wasn't on that one page. And then we go all the way up to 49 and 50. You can see 50 right here. So that means there's 50 colors that should be on our floss cards. So 49 in full stitch. And, I think that's 2 strands or mixed stitches. Oh yeah, that's mixed stitches. Duh, look, it shows you right. Okay, I haven't done this in a while, so you're gonna have to cut me some slack. So 49 in full stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in mixed stitches, and 3 in back stitches. Now, because 11 count is 3 strands, somewhere on the canvas I find, at least for all the spring kits I've done where it's requiring mixed stitches, if you bring up Google Translate on your phone and click the little camera, one of those writings on the canvas is going to tell you if you're using 2 strands of the first code shown or 2 strands of the second code shown. So you'll just have to run your camera over that to figure that out. And so that's the paper pattern. And sometimes the canvas is the same as the paper pattern with spring, sometimes it's not, so let's check in this case. And it does look to be the same as the paper pattern in this case. And this is the size. Still cute, not too saturated, which makes me feel a little more confident with it washing out. Very clear printing. And a serged edge. And then it looks like they even got the mixed stitches on here. And that's pretty clear, at least on my camera. And then the regular legend is on this side, and this one's nice and large. Little eye in his little blushy cheek. And I do have an update for Beartown coming soon, hopefully. I've made okay progress. I've been sticking to the same few kits recently instead of working on the massive horde of whips I've had. But, so it might say, I would guess it would say up over here which one you use 2 strands of for the mixed stitches. It goes this way, actually. This is right. It goes the 2. So yeah, that's the part you would Google Translate. The canvas is not as firm as I've gotten canvases before, which is good. This one I can tell is gonna soften up really easily. And I'm sorry if my desk is dirty or you can see any of the spotting down here, you guys. I've been doing so much work with my wax seals, and if you stick to the end of the video, I've actually finally started turning them into envelope stickers and selling them on my Etsy. So I would like to show you guys those because, you know, as Amanda knows, I somehow lost my benefits again with the whole Trump thing, and they even kicked us off of main care, which sucks because my son has surgery next month, but I was able to sort that out, so we get it back 10 days before his surgery, which is kind of scary cutting it that close. All right, I am gonna pause here and go flip my laundry over, and then I will come back and we will look at the threads. Okay, so I am back. My clothes are successfully placed in the dryer. So, ooh. Oh no, that I thought the floss smelled really good. It's just my hands from touching dryer sheets. So we have 2 floss cards here. And it looks like our needles are stapled to the floss card. We got 2, and they do look to be appropriate size for 11 count. So let's look at colors 1 through 15. Lovely gradient here. 16 through 30. 31 through 45. Oh, I was wrong. There's 51 colors. I thought there was 50. Well, 46 through 51. So definitely colors looking accurate for the picture. This is very soft thread as well. Like, this is softer than I'm used to for spring anyways. Okay, and that was kit number 1. Let's go to the second one. Okay, this is the next one. Come on, focus, focus. Come on, camera. Well, I can't tell if it's focused or not for you guys. So this is one I've been wanting for not that long. I don't know why I led with that. I only found this one recently when I went to place an order for 2 specific ones. One of them being the bear, obviously, and the second one will be the next spring kit I'll show you. And I just happened to find this when I was scrolling through the spring section. And I've been collecting a lot of geisha kits slowly over the year, like the past 2 years. And this is like a fun-sized one that I thought I could get out really quickly, so I really wanted to grab her. But also I love the detailing and the pink and blue, and I love that there's like that pop of like a dark olive green in there. Plus I really love the spring kits that come on this darker fabric. So this kit is an 11 count, of course. I always try and get 11 counts with spring. So it is 37 by 80 centimeters, and right now on the website she is $11.99, and she's in there upside down because it's like this. But that's fine. So the same as every other spring kit except for the ones that come in boxes. Some do come in boxes. This one is in the pouch. And this time the pattern is not part of the cover photo. You can kind of see that too because it's a different style. Like here's the other one. And it has like all the markings and stuff down here. This one does not. Oh, I can move this up a little. I'm losing my mind. Okay, right away, I'm noticing this one did not come in a bag. So, I don't know why, but it didn't. Move that out the way. Here's our instructions, same as the last kit. And this time the pattern is on its own pages. Absolutely beautiful. My camera's trying to track her face. My camcorder. I don't know why I keep calling it a camera. It takes terrible photos, but pretty good videos. So this pattern does look to be a tad bit smaller than the last one. But again, so if you're new to printed or stamped cross stitch, I didn't know much when I started getting into it, and it took me a bit to like understand things. So just in case you are like I was a few years ago, Spring and Joy Sunday kits are hand charted, and then they have ones like Yishu and such that are computer rendered. I believe Yishu has a bit of tinkering and manual changes made to it. I can't say for sure. I do know it is an option when you get custom ones done with Fansells at least. But Spring has hand-charted kits. So the cover photo you get is essentially almost exactly what the finished product is going to look like when you're done stitching it. So I try, ever since learning that, to get hand-charted kits. I do find a lot of images now and again that I'm obsessed with that aren't hand-charted, and I will still get those. They do come out pretty good, it's just not the same quality as hand-charting. So anyways, page 1 is just kind of her top half, her shoulders, her hands. Page 2 is her lower section looking like to maybe a little bit below or above the knees. And then we flip it here. Okay, so it was above the knees. Or, and this is page 3, which is the bottom half, but does she cut off there? I guess she does cut off there. Yeah, she does cut off there, so that is correct. And it's so simple, and everything has something else to follow, which I think is going to be a really easy stitch with a lot of color blocking, and that's just something I need right now. And you can see there's no back stitching down here, and it looks like the only back stitching is to kind of define her hair and her face and her fingers and such. So if you are new to backstitching, I think this would be a good kit to start with if you want a hand-charted one and like the geishas. Over here it looks like we go up to 32 stitches in full stitches. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different back stitches, which are all going to be in her head and shoulder area. So that's a lot for a small space. But it's going to make her pop. And since the colors in this paper pattern reflect the completed product image, I can already tell that the symbols on here are not going to be the same symbols that we get on the canvas. So you do have the numbers, but you will have to kind of translate that yourself because it doesn't look like they put them side by side in this kit. All right, this is the canvas. I think it's the right color. I was gonna say I think it looks darker than in the sample photo, but it really doesn't. Let's open her up. This one's really thin and like pliable, malleable, whatever people call it. But since it is a darker one, the colors are not as bright on here. And it looks like you will be needing to use the paper pattern to do the back stitch, because Spring does not make a habit of putting the back stitching in the picture, which is great because that sometimes can get in the way of seeing the symbol you need to. So it is serged as usual. I can't get over how thin this is. This is gonna hang beautifully though. But here we go. She's super tall, but still somehow small because she's a partial, and we have all this space over here we don't have to do. And then you can see here is our legend. It's nice and large. They did kind of surge through the DMC, which is a bit of a bummer, but I don't know. And you see it stops at 18, but then they make use of the space up here and put the rest of it for you. And it looks like they're putting 4 of the symbols, so it's not, you're not stitching over 4 of them, you're only stitching like the 1. But they're just kind of showing you samples of what they look like when they're in clusters. I think she's going to be gorgeous and much quicker than my larger ones, which I will have to go over with you once I, you know, start catching you guys up on what I've been doing, because I've started some kits. I don't remember if I showed you the one I started on. And if I can't find that receipt, I'm sorry, but I will still show you what that kit looks like, because, you know, I started it. Now we only have 1 floss card here. This is, I don't think I've ever seen a spring floss card that didn't say spring on it. This one's just white. Just white. And we still got our 2 needles stapled to it. And these are colors 1 through 18. Look at those gorgeous pinks and reds. Then we have 19 through 33. Lots of black right here. And then 33 is kind of hiding under it. And once again, super soft. Besides the pink, I feel like, and this red right here, these are pretty subtle colors, but I think they will really pop on that darker fabric and bring her to light and just make her glow, and I'm really excited for that. Alright, so that was kit number 2. And we have, trying to get it to load. This is kit number 3. I've wanted this one for quite some time, but never worked up the courage to get it. I think it's because at the time I was more into the super cutesy kits, so I was just kind of like, oh, I'll get it another time. Well, I eventually got it, and I am in love. I really love the old style horses. They just look so unique. This picture isn't the greatest in the kit, so it's kind of hard to see, plus the shine, but I think it's going to be gorgeous. It is another partial, and again, I've been liking the longer and taller kits still, so I've been kind of sticking with those. This one, let me see, this one is an 11 count. It's called 8 Horses. It is 110 by 50 centimeters, and it says it has 20 colors. Right now on the Paint Some Way website, it is $15.99. And I will link what I can down below, but if you are in the US, again, I'm not sure how much the duties are going to be on this. I think they're at 30% right now with China, but I'm not totally sure where these ship from specifically, so that might not even matter. All I can say is I believe I checked with Paint Some Way or FGNormal, where I have had this diamond painting in my cart, and during the high tariffs I checked the price and it was over double the amount of duties than the price of the kit, and I checked that again yesterday and it has come down to $3. So I do think that the duties are coming down in general. So hopefully the same is going on with Paint Some Way, but again, there's a lot of different circumstances to it. But anyways, this is the third spring kit. Behold, another button pouch. And this one also is not patterned on the cover photo. Give me that. I'm not going to show the instructions this time either. Okay, so this one shows us page separation because we're getting into a bigger kit here. So the picture's a little bit better. They're so cute. If any of you know, or didn't know, I was a horse girl growing up. I used to ride horses and all that. Grew up on a farm or two, so. Alright. I don't like when they're stapled like this. I'm just gonna, because it confuses me. Alright, these colors are interesting, so I think that these are the true colors that will be in the completed stitch. So this here is page 1, and it kind of, I don't know, it kind of looks like there's a filter over it given the colors they chose, but it's kind of cool. And then that's page 3. There's page 2. There's page 2. Are you page 2? Nope, page 6. Page 2. This is page 2. The underside of the feeties. And then page 3. Page 4. Back to some feeties. And then page 5, we see some hiney. And page 6, which looks like it is also the page we will be finding our legend on. And they were correct in the listing. There's 20 colors here, but only 18 look to be in full stitch, and then 2 are in back stitch. So not too many colors to be going through, which to me means this is going to be a little bit simpler, though I do see a tiny bit of confetti up in here. So I do think there might be some confetti spots in here, but really you're only balancing 20 colors, and 2 of them you don't even use in the stitches, just the back stitching. So that doesn't worry me at all. I'm going to put this back in here for safekeeping. We are back to the cellophane wrapped canvas. I almost said plastic. Cellophane bag is back. Okay, this canvas is a bit stiffer than the other 2. So this one's going to be a bit harder to show because of the size. So we're going to start here with it being serged. And I guess I'm going to keep it this way because this is the only way it's going to fit on my desk. You can see already the symbols are not matching the paper pattern. Ooh, that was a terrible spot to put that, because how am I going to know if I can't tell if it's the blue plus or the purple slash, so I'm going to have to check the legend before I stitch that. That was poor placement on their half, or on their part. So we can scroll, you can clearly make out the horses. This is so cute. This is definitely one I would hang on the side of my bed, like on the wall. And then I'm gonna fold this in half again so we can, maybe I'll quarter it. We'll see. I'll fold it up so I can show you the legend. Maybe. If I can figure this out. My goodness. I'm folding it away. It's not meant to be folded. Oh, and it does show you how many stitches, like right here. But that, I don't really like to show those on partials because it doesn't give you the total number of stitches because we're only stitching the printing, not the white. And our legend is huge on this one, but again, it's like right on the edge. And they did serge through it, but thankfully the thread is thin enough where you can see still. And again, it looks like they're showing groupings of the symbols instead of just one of the symbol. So stiff. It smells a little bit like white glue, if you know what that smells like. Sorry. And yeah, the printing looks very clear though. I'm not the biggest fan of them putting blue X's next to solid light blue. I mean, it looks much better right there than it does over here though, doesn't it? It's always weird how that works. Okay, and that was my third and final spring kit. And next we have 3 Joy Sundays, which are very reminiscent of the type of counted cross stitch patterns I would buy on my own time. Hold up, I forgot. I didn't show you the floss. I told you I'm out of touch. Okay, since it's only 20 colors, it all comes on the same floss card, and we're back to the typical spring floss card, and we do have 2 needles yet again. So here are colors 1 through 15. Again, with the beautiful gradients. And then we have 16 through 20. I wonder where 16's going. There's not a whole lot. And yes, I do have I like sliced a piece of my finger off picking at it. Anxiety, man. I don't know. And I'm just realizing that my Scentsy light is on and probably has messed up the accuracy of colors. I do not know how that was not hurting my eyes or how I didn't notice. So here are those colors. I think they're going to be so cute. And then we have more of number 1, which looks to be black. Number 3, I believe. Wait, no, or 19. Oh, number 2. Huh, it looks a little... Oh, well, more of number 6, more of number 7, and more of 17. So when you get these kinds of hanks of spare floss, they completely unfold on their own to this length. You just have to loop it onto the card, which is one thing I really love about spring, because with Beartown, I've gone through a lot, and especially green, and it makes my life so oh my goodness, sorry, phlegm. It makes my life so much easier when I can just unfold it, slap it on, and get right back to stitching. So I love these hanks from spring. Okay, so when I say I'm not gonna purchase any more cross stitch kits, or try not to, I'm definitely gonna get that Dream Stitch order someday. It's just over $100, but I really want them. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna still make videos, but also I don't know if they're even still willing to send kits to the US reviewers, but if they do choose to do that, there may also be a chance that I will be reviewing kits that were given to me to review, but it's just for now. I've been working really hard on finishing kits, even though, you know, I started a lot of big ones, so it's gonna take a while. Anyways, first of 3 spring kits. Are you ready? You wanna guess the style? Thin and tall. I told you it's been my go-to. So this one, I think, is part of a Seasons series, and I'm not sure if I bought multiple. I know he's kind of covered with a sticker, but I thought it was so cute. And this one says the 4 seasons in the forest. This one's summer. As you can see, we've got fruiting plants here. And so when I go for Joy Sundays, that's when I want 14 count. So this one is a 14 count, and it is 18 by 38 centimeters. And it right now on their website only costs $4.99. So Joy Sunday, as I mentioned before, and if you're new to cross stitch, is another hand-charted cross stitch kit seller. And they tend to be cheaper, and they come in Ziploc baggies all the time. They don't ever come in boxes. I actually have seen a red label Joy Sunday, which I've seen come in bags and in boxes. I've seen very, very, very old Joy Sundays in red boxes sold on eBay, which is so strange to me, because I've only ever seen it that one time, but it wasn't a picture I wanted, so I chose not to get it. Okay. Oh, and before I forget, instructions are on the back of these bags. Now, these bags, a lot of people refer to them as Joy Sunday bags. These are not Joy Sunday bags. These bags, I'm pretty sure, come from a manufacturer called Needle Kung Fu. The only part that makes this a Joy Sunday is they put their cover photo in it, but they stopped putting Joy Sunday at the top, so I don't even know if you could call it that, even though it has their logo. But these bags are not Joy Sunday bags. They are just kind of like a universal bag that cross stitch kits get sold in, and then the company can put their own label in. So for this one, it's a little booklet again, and it looks like there's only 2 pages, and this is a huge pattern. I love the bright colors in this. Sorry my voice keeps cracking, you guys. My son's been coughing a lot, so maybe he's getting sick and brought something home. I don't know. I've been sick like nonstop. I'm always sick, you guys. When am I not? But I really love the bright colors on here. It appeals to me so much. And as you can see, it is going to be a partial, so we can kind of get the shapes coming out from the background, which is another aspect I like of this style. Now this one does have a lot more backstitching, so if you aren't rehearsed in backstitching, this probably won't be the one for you. But to be fair, let me see if I have it. Okay, I don't have it on me, but I do have a picture on Facebook I'll pull down and put on screen now. This is my very first cross stitch. Very first ever. It was a Joy Sunday, and look at all the backstitch and French knots. What was I thinking? I mean, I didn't know any better because I purchased my first 3 stamped cross stitch kits before knowing how to cross stitch, and before understanding anything, and before seeing any videos on YouTube about it. So, needless to say, it took me, I worked on it pretty hard for about a year, and then I put it away for a year, and then I took it out for a few more months and finished it up, and then I was hooked. Yep, I was buying every single cross stitch kit I could see. And I also have a fairly good sized collection of counted cross stitch kits as well, but so who am I to say that this isn't beginner friendly? It just might take you longer than you would want to take. It's up to you, but I wouldn't recommend it. I just tend to be a craftsman of all trades. I seem to excel at everything I do, and I can't explain it. I don't know if it's autism, ADHD. I'm crafting 24/7, and if I'm not crafting or making videos or working on orders for my shop, I'm cleaning or cooking, because I can't just not be doing something. Okay, so I wanted to point out on here, I don't love how faint that back stitch is on here. I'm gonna have to sit under direct sunlight to see that, because I'm having a very hard time as is. But other than that, I really do love the colors on this one. It's gorgeous. Oh, this is huge. So this is a good example of them showing what's on the paper pattern versus what you get on your canvas. So it looks like we go up to 55 colors. So 55 colors, full stitch, one color in a 3/4 stitch. Isn't that a quarter stitch? What's a 3/4 stitch? I'm used to seeing quarter stitches. Hold on. Okay, so I guess. I've been calling 3/4 stitches quarter stitches, I guess. Well, that's my bad. I guess I'm a little bit numb in the skull. Happens. So we have one of those, and then we have 4 colors of backstitch. Curse you, number 7. How dare you be so pale? And Joy Sunday does sometimes print their backstitch on the canvases, which is terrible, but also extra terrible because that's white. What is that? Come on, Joy Sunday. Who's gonna see that? What is this? But you can see the difference in symbols. Like 44 is the J, and 44 here is that orange triangle. So that is the paper pattern. Keep it that way. And since this is 14 count, it is going to be tiny. Here it is. It's kind of stiff, but it is still serged. And you can see the title there, so you can match that up with your bag and make sure you're putting it away in the right spot. And since I forgot to mention, if you're new to stamped or printed cross stitch, do not get them wet, because the ink will blend and it will ruin it. That's kind of why they give us the paper patterns as well, though, because even if you already started stitching, you can just pick up from where you left off using the paper pattern. It may not be optimal, but it's better than not being able to use your kit at all. So this one looks a little, well, not on my camera. In person, it looks a little blurry up here. So these are harder on the eyes because there's a lot of different colors in here and they are smaller, but these are still fairly like crisp printings. So you can kind of get the idea. There's going to be a lot of different colors. There's like tiny spots of color blocking in here, but not a ton. And then we have our legend, which I noticed Joy Sunday has been making smaller and smaller lately, which I hate. So I guess it's good they put this on the paper pattern as well, because I'm not going to be able to see this, at least not past a certain number. And then it continues over here, where they so kindly also, oh my goodness, so kindly also put these, which I don't know why they put the back stitching on here, because it doesn't look like they printed it on the canvas this time, which thank goodness, but at the same time, why are you printing it on the canvas? I'm gonna go drink some water, because I don't know what's going on with my voice, you guys. I don't feel sick. I've been in a pretty good mood the past 2 days. Okay. Just checking if the back is clean. So we have 2 floss cards, since since it goes up to 55. Sorry, I'm trying not to lose you guys. So we got 2 gold-eyed needles, my absolute favorite ones to get, stapled to the canvas, and these are 14 count appropriate. They did staple the floss cards. I just pop them apart and then push that staple back in to keep my needles secured, and so it doesn't snag thread. Right, so we have colors 1 through 15, and you can see that they show a sample of what the color should be like on the card for the number slot it is, and how many strands. And then 16 through 30. Just a rainbow of beautiful colors, and again, I'm loving gradients. I don't know, threads in a gradient makes me so happy. I'm sorry if my voice keeps cracking, guys. Let's just pretend you don't hear it. And then we have 31 through 45. And then 46 through 55. And look at that. I also forgot to mention they put the DMC above the number as well. And that is our flossy flosses. I'm just gonna kind of wrap them around themselves because that's how it came. Wrap, 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 wrap. And then I like to tuck it in. Boop. And then I shove it in the bag like this. Alright, so this was the first Joy Sunday kit, and I will have to pause and go downstairs because I just had something dropped off by Walmart. Alright, I'm back. You want to see what I got? I ran out of my native eucalyptus body wash, and where I lost my benefits, I unfortunately had to spend my money on food and stuff, so I went with a cheaper one, which is this. I love Dr. Teal's Epsom salt baths, so I figured I'd give this a try. Alright, so this is the second Joy Sunday kit. This one is from the same series, as you can see. This one's Autumn. Still a 14 count, 17 by 38 centimeters. But I will say these are in separate listings, so I will link them separately because that's how I found them. Probably why I didn't know if they were part of the kit or not. But this one, I love this one. Okay, for some reason, hold on a minute. My brightness keeps changing and I am getting so confused. So this one I love because it has a cute little snail on a bolete mushroom. I love boletes. They turn blue when you scratch their little undersides. At least some of them, not all of them. And then there's some berries in here and some chanterelles, which I absolutely love. I have a secret spot. I will never share it because it's only one little patch. Actually, no, I found 2 spots now that I'm remembering back. Maybe that's something I can do this summer. Let's go foraging. But I thought it was beautiful. So yes, autumn, because they do come closer to autumn when it starts cooling off a bit because they like shade. But I thought it was so cute, so of course I grabbed this one too. Come on. Okay, let's move this out the way. Again, just 2 pages. Still super bright and fun. I'm not seeing that horrendous pale pink backstitch anywhere. I'm seeing a blue and a black so far. But yeah, nice and large once again. I'm not going to go over it totally. I do see some confetti up in here, whereas the rest looks like everybody has kind of a friend to connect with, if you know what I'm talking about. And then once again, just absolutely massive legend, and I was right, there's only black and blue for the back stitches. And once again, they're showing us the paper pattern symbols versus the canvas symbols. And it looks like, hold it up, we get 55 colors total. So 55 in full stitch, 2 in back stitch, which is 310 and 5200. And so black and white, which is gonna possibly pop. I hope it does. We'll find out. The serged canvas again. And similar to the last one, a bunch of confetti, still very clearly printed. Firmer canvas, which it's okay for small ones, especially tall ones. I've been kind of just like rolling them up, and then I have like a bunch of clips. I have massive clips and mini clips because I either work on something really small or really big, and I'll just like clip it and then I'll work up and down, making sure to keep my stitches oriented the way I typically would. So, okay, this is top right here. But again, that's not accurate because, as you can see, the same as before, it is a partial, so the stuff can kind of pop out from the background, which I just love that they're adding in that sort of texture. And sadly enough, still super small legend. I'm really hating this Era Joy Sunday, really hating it. Love the kits and the quality, hating how small these legends are. So tiny, kind of irritating. The back is clean though. And then we have our colors to look at. Again, just like the last one, since there's 55, it's coming on 2 cards, stapled like before. Colors 1 through 15. I'm going to rush a bit now because my camera's starting to die on me. 16 through 30. And this thread is also very soft. I wouldn't say quite as soft as the Spring brand, but it's very close. And then our needles, of course, and we have 31 through 45. Jeez, 55. 46 through 55. Loving the turquoise. And once again, I'm gonna wrap. And so, did I say the price of this one? The price should also be $4.99 if I didn't say that. Okay, so this was the second one, and I double checked. The price is $4.99 in case I didn't say it. So same as the first one. I wouldn't expect anything different since they're supposedly from the same series. And let's go to our last kit. Okay, this one is not part of that same series. I'm going to turn it this way so you can see it better. And I just love how they lose color when they come out of the background on this one. I don't need you to see my camera, I need you to see it. I'll just take the whole thing out so you can see it better. So this one is called White Daisy. It is also a 14 count. It is 22 by 36 centimeters, but this one cost $5.99. Pull all of it out so you can see the picture. There we go. Isn't that cute? That's like all backstitch except for a few up here you can see. I think that's gonna look gorgeous. I'm really excited for this. So I actually have like, I think I have a tomato and a sweet pea counted cross stitch kits that are like this. And I love them. I haven't started them yet. Once I finish my mother's, which I'm almost done, there's just a ton of back stitching, and then I'll show you once the beads are on. But once my mother's is done, I plan to start that one if I can, if I have the fabric for it, because I'm not a big fabric shopper. Okay, so this one's a booklet again, and it looks like there's only 2 pages, so page 1 is right here, and you can see the different colors of backstitch, and I was correct, there is some whole crosses up there. And then page 2. And it's not super bright on here, but I'm sure once it's on the canvas, the colors are going to be super varied. Canvas, not overly saturated again, that is something I do appreciate. Serged. Stiff, but this one for some reason feels slightly thinner. Maybe it's just less starch on it. But it's super clearly printed, and honestly a lot more color blocking than I thought it would be. And I can kind of actually read this legend. Yay! Oh, and there's half stitches. Oh, I didn't show you the stitches, did I? So, paper pattern, canvas. We have 17 in full stitches, 4 in half stitches, and 2 in back stitches. And that's how you know. Joy Sunday always charts their half stitches like this, and this is not a cluster of stitches. They will look like that on there. Yeah, so no, is that 5? Yep. So you can see there's 5 solid, and then there's 5 with the double squares. Those are the half stitches. And then we only have 1 floss card this time. Our needles attached, and this is 1 through 15. And then 16 and 17. 16 is not my favorite color. It looks like sick people boogers. At least like my boogers when I get super sick. Gross, I know. And again, it is soft. Not a whole lot. Hopefully this is enough. I have run out on Joy Sundays, finally. It's finally happened to me. And that was the 3rd Joy Sunday. Alright everyone, thank you so much for clicking on my video, and hopefully I can actually be more consistent this time. My highs have been higher, my lows have been lower, but my lows are less frequent. It's just with those fluctuations, my motivation to really do anything at all has kind of diminished. But I am hoping to speak with my doctor soon about getting an autism diagnosis so I can get into the appropriate therapy. And the reason we came to this conclusion for sure is that anxiety medications do not work for me, and traditional therapy has not worked for me. And the only other thing to think of is that what I'm thinking is panic attacks is actually like minor meltdowns from autism, which, you know, it's kind of been known that I've had it my entire life. I mean, look at my son, he has it, but like tenfold. But I've been diagnosed with ADHD and stuff like that. So they lost like all my diagnosis from my childhood, so we just need to get that up again. But hopefully that helps stabilize me soon. But just knowing that there's a chance that I can get appropriate help rather than just being thrown on medication makes me happy and excited, and feeling less hopeless about the way life has been working out for me. Not to say my circumstances have been great, so it's not like I'm being unreasonable with how I've been feeling. But anyways, if you want to see my wax seals, stick around. If not, thank you for watching. I will link everything down below, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. And I am excited to be back, and hopefully I will stay back. I was toying with the idea as well as taking some home videos and such. I would just have to find a way to maybe blur my son's face. I'm not too scared about showing my son online. His grandparents post him everywhere, and you know, I don't really have a big YouTube channel, and not a whole lot of people are into stamped cross stitch, so it's give or take. But I will see you in the next one if you're leaving. If not, I'll see you in the next clip, so I can show off some of the letter stamps I have made, and I will link my shop for you as well in case you want to support me and my son, since we do kind of rely on this shop for income, and this year hasn't been the best for us. So yeah, I would like to show off and shamelessly promote. Okay, so some of these are in sets, and some of these are sold as a random pack, but you do have the option to give me a color preference. This is one of the ones sold as a pack, and I will do my best to show these. So these are wax seals. You actually can find the supplies to do these on sites like Fansells. Maybe Paint Some Way even has them. It's not the most extensive place to be buying the supplies. I buy my supplies from AliExpress. Tends to have some of the best waxes. And at one point I was buying from Temu, but now I just mostly buy only the stamp heads from Temu. So this is kit 1, or set 1. I don't know why I called it a kit. I don't want to open them because these are packaged for sale, but I do have pictures on my website. But we have a goldfish, this moth with gold decals, a purple cat, a butterfly bunny, and this is Milk and Tea, and it is a glitter wax, a manta ray or stingray, a cut kitty. Now these can get really complex and they take a long time to do, but I do try and throw at least 2 in each set I make. This one is a fairy, and then the last one is a shimmery little jellyfish. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sets of these. And these ones are already listed on my Etsy. They have adhesive backs. So like this on the back, you pull the tab and you stick it on your envelope and it looks like you used a wax seal on it. A lot of people use these for wedding invites, birthday party invites. This is one coming from a set I'm making, I think, maybe 9 of, for actual wedding invites. So these ones are taking me longer because I'm trying to make them look more elegant and less cutesy, which is my normal style. So those are the first ones. This next one I only have 5 of, I believe. Yeah. So we have a flan pudding with a strawberry, a cup of tea. This one's harder to see, but it is a mushroom with a honey wax, coffee beans, cup of coffee, or a latte, which you can tell I did the cutting and restamping to make that unique. And then a fork girl. I thought that was adorable. So, and that's what the tea and honey, or the milk and tea looks like. And better, and it's hard to show on camera. This is a waffle where I drizzled the honey wax on it, and I made sure to melt it enough to where it won't peel up. And then this one is banana animals, and this is just kind of like my tea time set. I have not listed these yet, but if you request it in or on the random listing, I will happily post it. I hope to take pictures of these sometime this week and list these on my Etsy. And each pack is always gonna have 9, and then I will be throwing in extras because I do have a lot that I don't think exactly fit into a set, so they just kind of sit in a drawer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these. This is probably my favorite set, like full set where I made a bunch of, especially the waffles and this little latte. So cute. Now these next ones are all completely random, so like these are ones where you buy from the listing and I just grab one, and if you have a color preference like pink or purple, I will pick one with your color preference. This is one of my bigger stamps. It's a koi fish, and then I love this right here. And another one. I love the butterfly or the moth stamp too. This is a little umbrella. Purple, you can see the milk, different flowers. I love that kitty. I'm not going to go through all of these extensively, just showing you some examples of what comes. So we have pink, purple, a blue set. This one's kind of a brown set. I love those grapes. This one's like a pink purple set, maybe pink purple yellow. The pastels, I would call this. And this one, I want it to be like a green and purple, but I guess it also turned into kind of a pastels. And then this is my last big one. So more silvery shimmeries and some browns, a cut moth. I would call this like a teal set. There's the bunny, butterfly bunny in more detail. That's a little slug. Or snail, not slug, my bad. More pastels. I would call this a green set. Look at those kitties, so cute. Lucky cat down there. I would call this a green set. I love the carousel. I would call this like a baby green set, maybe. That one's hard to see, but I put a lot of work into that one right there. That's actually a bird. A lot of people think those are fishes. It's just a bird. There's the fairy girl. And this actually is a clear background on that teacup. I would call this maybe a baby blue or a pastel set. That's the fort girl done up more detailed, and trust me, that took me hours. And I'm only charging like 18 something for these. So keep in mind that ones like this can take me, or more so ones like this can take me hours to do. So I'm definitely not asking for a lot, considering that's still less than $18 an hour, when that one alone took me more than an hour. This would be a red set, and this one's a heart with some roses. Another little bird. I would call this a pastel set. A cute little bear on the moon. That one took me forever as well. A purple set. Love those grapes and the shiny background. And I also really love this flower one. This one's hard to see, but it's one of the cats. Another bird. I love how I said I wouldn't go over all of these, and yet here I am. Another green set, or green and white. A pastel. I love the little bunny. This one has glitter in it. And then another pastel set, but or purple and orange. Some more grapes. I really loved making the grapes. So a flan pudding, and then a bear with a bouquet of flowers. And I have tons more wax seals to turn into stickers. These are just what I have for now. So if you want to support me in any way, unfortunately I do only ship to the US. I cannot afford free shipping for other countries right now. because Etsy does, I guess it's a form of demonetization if you don't advertise free shipping. Etsy is kind of a dick like that, and it's just not something I can afford, where I barely make enough to even buy toilet paper some weeks. So I can only do free shipping to the US, unfortunately. But if you have a friend in the US, you can have them, you know, order it for you or use their address. But yeah, so you can use those for kids' invites and stuff. Just, they're fun little things to do. I don't know if I'd ever do like custom cut colors, and by cut colors I mean where I'm cutting them out and doing them, but I would happily do a full set of any of my stamps in a single color, because I have a ton of wax, honestly, especially that shimmery white. I bought that one mostly to make wedding ones, and today I actually have translucent or transparent wax coming in and some tiny dried flowers. So I'm going to be making full-blown, like, mature wedding sets with those as well later today, because I'm probably going to be staying up late. My son has late start on Wednesday, and so I get to stay up a little bit later tonight. So that's probably what I'm going to be doing. But anyways, thank you guys for taking a look at my wax seals. I know it's not what you came here for, and I'm sorry if this video is too long. I've been gone for so long, I have a lot to say, and we have a lot to catch up on. But anyways, I hope to see you guys again soon in the next video. I can't say which company it's going to be because I don't know or remember which companies I bought from, but we'll get there eventually, right? Okay, well, I love you guys and I miss you guys, and I hope you have a fun crafty day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!